Good night. Good night. Good night. Yo, how's everybody doing tonight, man? How you guys doing on this lovely Wednesday evening? This is a real, this is a real impromptu live because we got some new gear in the building. We got some new gear in the building. And, I wanted to come in and test it out. And the funny thing is with gear, the only way for you to, make sure everything is working and try it out and get to learn it is you got to use it. And when you're a live streamer, there's really no other way to test things out than other than going live, So that's why we're here tonight. We're here to talk live streaming. So, if any of you guys have seen my IG stories, anytime I get upgrades to the studio every once in a while I'll refresh and kind of show people the setup that I have because again, we're in a virtual world. There's not many places in the Caribbean that, talk about live streaming because a lot of the equipment that we need and need to be able to use is not available to us locally. A lot of us have to order it, but you're not just going to jump out and order things that you don't really know about, right? So before we get into all of that, who's in the building tonight? Let me know in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you are watching from. I love to do a roll call. I love to ensure that my Caribbean folks are here. So if the Yardis are here, if the Jamaicans are here, let me know in the chat. If the St. Lucians are here, if the Bajans are here, the Guyanese, if the Trinbagonians are here, if the US is here, Canadians, the UK. Let me know that you guys are here in the chat, man. Let me know that you guys are here in the chat. We got my boy Devon here, Devon Scott. The man said, intro music for your money. How you mean, Devon? The song is bad. Mikhail says he is in here. Isis says good evening, good night. Kevin Valley said he is coming to thief my equipment. Listen, he put it on record and I brought it up on screen so you guys can see it. So if one day I wake up and my equipment gone, we're going to go check Kevin Valley out, all right? I love it, I love it, I love it. So again, let me know that you guys are in here. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Look at that. Pops is in the house. Digi is in the house. Well, of course, the man in the house. The big boss himself. Narissa is here. Good night, Narissa. Watcher from Trinidad. LinkedIn fam is here. Trinidad and Tobago in the house. Listen, you gotta love it. So tonight, we are talking about live stream. This, again, was really impromptu. I wanted to test out some new equipment that I got, ensure that everything is working, test out the features. And then while we're doing all of that, why not talk live streaming? We're in a virtual world. Everything is happening virtually. People, as much as everybody is zoomed out, the Zoom is still happening. As much as we are zoomed out, Zoom is still happening. However, I do appreciate people that can make a Zoom meeting or presentation. I do appreciate when they can make it entertaining. And I find that, again, virtual is not going to be going away anytime soon, regardless of when in-person events start to come back in full swing. We are going to see a healthy mix of offline events, but there will be virtual elements to them, right? And if you are somebody who is finding yourself speaking a lot more at virtual events, now is the time to really start to upgrade your equipment. You should not simply be using your computer webcam and a microphone from your headset. If you are somebody who is speaking on a regular basis and you are now getting paid to come to events, it is your duty to upgrade your arsenal. You have to put some things in place. You got to get the proper equipment. But again, if you don't know what the proper equipment is, we're going to talk about that this evening. So first things first, the big addition for me is sound quality. The sound quality is dramatically changed. When I'm going through just some of the samples that I've done, the sound quality from my new machine, my new studio set it's absolutely amazing. Like I feel like I got a little silky smooth Barry White voice going on. Like it's just super, super clean. So let's talk about the new addition to the crew. All right. So without further ado, let's see what the new addition is to the studio. DJ, drop that bomb for me, please. Drop that bomb for me, please. What's that new piece of equipment? We got the Rodecaster Pro podcast and live streaming studio. This bad boy is literally like a few different pieces of equipment all in one. So this bad boy is a whole production studio. So we can put 4 XLR inputs into it. We can, if you're recording podcasts, you can put a memory card in it and record directly on the Rodecaster itself. You have a sound effects pad. Hey, let's give it up for that sound effects pad one more time. We got a sound effects pad. We got a sound effects pad on deck, so you can program all of your signature sounds, right? So if me and you guys are talking and something crazy gets said, you'll get one of these. Bruh. So you can program all of your sounds, and what I love the most, it simplifies the podcast workflow because I can program not just sound effects, but you could also program music inside of here. So if I want to simplify my process, I have included my intro for my podcast, and I've also included the outro. So rather than having to go into post, because ideally what would have happened before was I would have recorded the audio into Audacity. After I recorded it, then I would add my audio in after, and then I would add my outro afterwards, right? But because everything is on here, I could do everything in one shot. The audio processing and so much of the cleaning up of the audio is done on board. There is a ton of features to toggle and tweak your audio so that you don't even have to go into post in something like an Auphonic. So after I would record, I would take my audio, drop it into Auphonic to clean up the audio. So much of the cleaning up is done on board the studio set. So I don't even need to go jump it into Auphonic to clean up the audio because a lot of that stuff is taking place on the actual set itself. So this is listen, there are hundreds of features on this thing, and because it's upgradable via firmware, Rode keeps on adding a bunch of new features to this station. So the audio, it's an audio beast. I can hear the clarity. It feels amazing. It sounds amazing. And again, just being able to, you have up to 4 XLR inputs, so I can connect 4 microphones to it. The best part, what I really love about this, you can connect USB devices to it. So let's just say if you are, you have sounds or you're bringing in a guest, you can bring them in via USB. You can connect your phone to the 3.5 millimeter jack, so you can run audio or anything from your phone. You could run it through the system as well. And it also has Bluetooth. So right now I have my phone connected, and what that's going to allow me to do is when I want to, again, play music or just run things from my phone, it's going to connect to my Rodecaster, and I'll be able to bring the audio into the live streams or into the podcast. And which brings me to my favorite feature, because this for me is what is going to, when I seen what this could do, and I seen the potential, I'm like, yo, when I get this is going to change the way my content is going to look and feel, and change the engagement altogether. Because as far as I know, unless you are a radio station, you're not going to be able to do this. So I can now have people call in while I'm live, and my Rodecaster is going to bring them into the conversation. So if I'm live streaming, and we're going to open up the phone line just now. You heard that right. We are going to open up the phone lines just now. We're going to open up the phone lines because we want to test that out, right? So I can bring people in through a phone call, whether it's WhatsApp or whether it's a regular phone call. I can bring them in, and bringing their audio into the live stream. So me and you guys are engaging right now, and we're talking. Let's just say I have a guest, and the guest is in here, and you guys want to ask questions. I'll open up the phone lines. You guys can call in. I'll bring the audio in, and the guest is going to hear it. We're all going to hear it, and then we could engage. That type of stuff for a live stream in the Caribbean. Oh man, that's a different thing. And then I'll be able to do that for the podcast as well. So again, there's going to be a lot of fun in doing that. So yeah, the podcast, I mean, the Rodecaster, it's called the Rodecaster Pro. It's definitely not, this is advanced. This is not something you remotely start out with. Let's just get that out the way. You do not start off with the Rodecaster. Unless you have money to burn, as a beginner, you don't start off with this. There's levels. This is up there on the levels. But I felt like in order for me to do what I want to do at a level that I want, this was definitely going to be an investment that will work out. So let's talk live streaming 101. So let's just say you want to get started with live streaming. What do you need to get started with live streaming? Well, it can be as simple. Live streaming can be as simple as you jumping onto Facebook or jumping onto IG and hitting go live. Like that's level one. Level one is you just going on a platform and hitting go live and you using your phone as the medium to connect with the world, right? That's level one. That's as simple as it gets. But let's just say you want to start to upgrade. What are some of the pieces that you need to start to upgrade your live streams? Well, for one, you can start by upgrading your camera. So rather than using your webcam from your computer because they're terrible, you can go into a webcam. You could look at something like, one of the more popular ones. I think the most popular webcam on the market to this date is the Logitech C920. It is like 5 years old at this point, but because it's such a tremendous upgrade over your webcam and the price is right for that, that is like step one. Like if you want to upgrade just your video quality through your lives, you can jump on something like the Logitech C920, and that is going to be able to upgrade your visuals when you guys are live on any one of these platforms tremendously. It is a major step up from your webcam on your computer. From the C920, everything else that is webcam related is there are upgrades, but they're all within a kind of a box, right? So you can upgrade. There's the Logitech C922. There's the Razer Kiyo. There's the Microsoft LifeCam. There is the Logitech Brio. So there are a few good webcams that are going to be better quality than the C920. But at the end of the day, keep in mind that they're webcams. Webcams is just one level up when it comes to upgrading your video quality for live streaming. The advanced level, when you want to get to the advanced level, when you decide, you know what, we want to go all out. We want to get visuals like this. We want to be seen in 1080p. Heck, we could even live stream in 4K if we really wanted to. Just depends on if you have the equipment to stream in 4K and if you can stream on if the platform you're streaming to will allow you to stream on 4K. So I think YouTube allows you to stream on 4K, but the rest of them is capped at 1080p. But this is where you're going to be able to go with a DSLR. So you could use your DSLR as a webcam, and that will allow you to get video quality like this. So they pick up motion so much better. It's so much cleaner. If I upgraded my lens, there'd be a blurred effect. I can get a blurred effect in my background, like a natural bokeh effect. All of that can be done with your DSLRs, and it just looks so clean, and it's the highest level of live streaming that you can do, especially for home studios, without having to get studio cameras from TV stations to come in and kind of shoot you. All right. So the camera that I use, the DSLR that I use, is the Sony A6100. The Sony A6100. That is the what I'm doing my visuals on. And what you would need is if you're using a DSLR, most DSLRs are going to need something called a capture card. And a capture card connects from your DSLR and it connects directly into your computer, and it converts the signal from your DSLR into a signal that your computer can recognize, and then you'll be able to use it as an option when you are in any platform that allows you to use video. Your capture card will allow your DSLR to show up as an option, so you could use that to stream and get your video, right? The next big upgrade. So if we're moving past video, the next big upgrade is well, again, for starters, if you just want to upgrade immediately your audio, if you are using your computer mic, that is terrible. Immediately, I would say go and find your smartphone and get your wired headset and use one of these bad boys over your computer mic. All right. So that's like immediately. If you have no equipment, that's the first thing that you need to do. So my guy Devon says Sony users, they recently allowed it to use his webcam without a capture card with the latest software. Well, look at that. This is why the video man is here, because I did not know that. Now, Devon, I feel very crappy about my $200 capture card because I won't need it anymore. But no worries. If that's a new update, that makes sense, because Canon, if you get one of the Canon DSLRs, Canon last year created their own software that allowed you to use a Canon DSLR without the need of an additional capture card to convert that frequency. They do that with just software. So that's actually really good that Sony has done that as well. So as Kevin says, we don't do computer mics when it comes to audio. If you have nothing, you at least go and grab one of your phone mics. So if you again, when we're talking audio, right? So one of the things with audio that people like to run in and grab is the first thing they think of when we talk mics, because of the brand, is Yeti. Yeti is the first mic that everybody runs to when they're thinking about upgrading their audio quality. Now, there is a problem because most of you don't know what the Yetis are typically used for. So when you start to do a little bit of homework, there's two words I want you guys to kind of pay attention to. And that's dynamic mics, and then there's condenser mics. Your condenser mic, which is what a Blue Yeti is built to pick up all of the sounds around the microphone. So if somebody's talking in the far corner, if something drops, if there's water running in the background, your Yeti is built to pick up all of the sounds in the room. All right? You don't want that. If you are live streaming, if you are recording podcasts, you don't want your mic to be picking up every Tom, Dick, and Harry. If you have chickens crowing in the background, they're making a guest appearance because your Yeti is picking that up. You don't want a condenser mic because of how it is built and what it is built for, right? That's more built for if you're recording and you have groups, then you could use a Yeti mic because, again, it's built to pick up all of the sounds around it. It's good for groups. However, what you want is a dynamic microphone. And a dynamic microphone allows you to get in nice and close, and dynamic microphones pick up the voice, pick up the sound that's directly in front of the microphone. So when you start to talk away from the microphone, if I were to walk away, you're not going to hear it. It's built to filter out the background noise, right? It's built to filter out the background noise. And Kevin just jumped in, my podcast guy says, or if you have a treated environment with soundproofing. So he's talking about the condenser mics if you have the Yeti. If you have a treated environment, right, where you have, sound deadening, you have carpets, you have heavy drapes to kind of kill a lot of the echoes and to kind of filter out some of those background sounds, then you can get away with using a condenser microphone, right? If you are in an untreated room, meaning your room is kind of hollow, there's no heavy drapes, there's no carpets, you don't have acoustic panels, then you definitely don't want to do a condenser microphone. You want to get a dynamic microphone, all right? Tisha Jack says, have to call you the equipment boss now. Listen. Yeah, you're gonna have to call me the equipment boss just now. So we're talking audio, right? So Dynamic microphones. You're looking for dynamic microphones. The microphone that I'm currently using, and shout out to my guy Kevin Valley because he pointed me in the right direction for this. I'm using a Audio Technica ATR 2100X. Audio Technica ATR 2100X. That's what I'm currently using. They have a new upgrade, the 2500. That one's really good as well, but I'm using the 2100. This is like when I seen them, they're about $100, not 100 US. They're really, really good microphones. So they have both a USB output if you do not have an audio interface that connects to an XLR cable and you just only have USB. This uses USB, or if you do have an audio interface that allows you to connect an XLR cable to get that super duper quality, this microphone is going to allow you to do that as well. And then after you upgrade that microphone, like I said, you could use the USB, but the USB doesn't give you the highest level of quality. You want something that allows you to use an XLR cable and then an audio interface, and that's going to give you that. Now, again, I'm not the most technical sound person, but the audio interfaces are definitely what helps process your sound and gives you a more cleaner, crisper sound, right? And all audio interfaces are made differently. So what I started off with last year was the Behringer UM2, right? So I would connect my XLR cable in here. It has phantom power to power the microphone, and it takes USB, and that connected to the back of my computer. And I would connect my mic right inside here. And this is what I've been using for the last year. And honestly, this was really good. I got really good audio from it. I really didn't have any issues from it, especially because I was just starting out. This more than did the job. Now that I'm fancy, we have the Rodecaster Pro. And that is what is handling all of the audio processing duties now, and it's doing a bang-up job. I absolutely love the way it is chalk and cheese difference. The sound that I was getting from the Behringer UM2 versus the Rodecaster Pro. When I set it up and I put in all the bells and whistles, got them activated and tuned up the way that I liked it, the sound quality is so much different. Absolutely love it, right? So you want your audio interface to help spruce up that sound and give you that extremely good sound. So the Behringer UM2, this was 45 US, and another popular one is the Scarlett Iris 2i2. That's another popular one. And again, if you just type in audio interfaces into Amazon, you'll be able to see some of these things. All right. And then I also have my equipment gear, and I'll post the link to my equipment gear in my link in bio on Instagram probably tomorrow because I had to take it down. But I'll post that up. And if you guys have any questions about equipment, you guys could always, shoot me a message, right? So again, I want to test some things out, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to open up the phone lines. All right. I'm going to open up my phone line. And I'm going to take some phone calls. I want to test out the phone calls. So you guys can either WhatsApp call me or you guys can call me via regular call. So the number that you guys can call is 737-4358. 737-4358. And you guys can call me. The phone lines are open, folks. The phone lines are now officially open. Drop that again. The phone lines are officially open. 737-4358. Definitely, if you guys have any questions about live streaming, or I'm taking calls now. I want to test out the feature. So, hey, look at that. We got the first call coming in, right? My guy. Let's see who this is. Good evening. You are live on the Digipreneur FM podcast. Who are we speaking with?
Speaking to Kevin Valley, sir. How are you
doing? Can you say your name one more time for the audience to hear you? I had to turn your volume up.
This is Kevin Valley speaking. How is everybody doing?
Oh, baby, listen. Yo, you're sounding good. You're sounding good, bro. How you doing tonight, boss?
I'm good, man. I'm just taking in your studio. I'm looking at your radio station here, looking at your fancy new equipment, and I'm just like, man, look at my boy, boy.
Yo, who would have thought 2 years later we would have been doing it just like this, eh?
Yeah, though, for real.
Nah,
this is awesome, man.
Nah, this is great, man. Let me know in the comments. How are you guys hearing Kevin Valley? Let me know if you guys are hearing him nice and clean. Listen, Devon says, look at that. Devon says, smooth transition, dog. Wow, that's ultimate vibes. Listen, bomb drop for that.
I'm using WhatsApp call on my phone right now. Like I'm cringing to see how I sound right
now. Yo, but again, we gotta test everything. So like we'll test the WhatsApp calls, we'll test the regular voice calls, we'll see, which one sounds the best. But honestly, just being able to do this and allow people to participate in the live streams at a different level like this is amazing. I'm absolutely supremely happy with it.
But no, on the real, you have your own radio station right now.
Yeah, it really is. So, Kevin, so, I mean, again, you are somebody who's been podcasting for a very long time, something like the Roadcaster and some of the features that it can do, how does that change up like your workflow in terms of how you go about putting together your podcasts?
Well, I see what you did in your stories where you're just able to hit one button and get your intro in. You were able to have your Audacity open. You hit a button, there's your intro. You get to hit your sound effects right away. I mean, I'll tell you, as somebody who actually started editing my own podcast and stuff, you just saved yourself at least half an hour right there. Yes. So the fact that your Roadcaster actually automatically cleans the audio, so it levels the audio, minimizes the highs, increases the lows and everything, and has me sounding on a WhatsApp call sounding like I'm using a professional microphone. I think that you just save yourself a lot of time in post production right there. You probably don't even need an editor.
And you're absolutely right. Like I think the editing would more come in like if we brought in guests and we have, again, we're going to be recording on different tracks. And if the person that came in probably didn't have the best audio, then their audio most definitely would be cleaned up. But I guess, again, the editing side a bit more than me. So you wouldn't just edit one. You would kind of have to edit both of them so they both kind of sound level and both sound good.
Correct. Yeah, you would have to edit both, but I would say you will have a lot less of a headache now because I'm not even using headphones right now. I am sitting down with my phone, speakerphone, not even to my ear.
Wow.
And I'm underneath my PC unit, and yeah, I mean, I don't know how you hear me, but I'm seeing the comments, and everybody's fine. So yeah, man, I think that investment is in time alone. I mean, forget the sponsors that you're gonna get, and everybody's gonna be running on your show now. Just the time you're saving in post production, I think you're getting a return on investment.
Listen, that is, you're absolutely right. And I mean, I wasn't even doing a ton of editing, but I'm just thinking about my workflow process. So, I mean, I record the audio into Audacity, export it, upload it to Auphonic, let it do its magic over there, then bring it back to Audacity, then add the outro, intro, connect it, fade it, and then export that. All of that's gone.
Yeah. I mean, you're ready to record and go.
You record.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you, if somebody listening wants to get started with podcasting, because I mean, the equipment for podcasting and live streaming, a lot of it is kind of the same. What you have for podcasting, you could still use for live streaming, but for podcasting, what do you think are the basics that, somebody who wants to get their feet wet, what are some of the basic pieces of equipment that you would recommend for somebody now looking to get started?
Yeah, so right now, what I'm recommending to people is just get like that similar microphone that you have, the ATR 2100.
Yeah.
So that's a nice dynamic USB plug and play microphone and a simple Zoom connection. Because if you're looking to interview people and you're looking to do it online, Zoom already lets you record in separate tracks. You even get video as a bonus. Just make sure that that your guest has a reliable internet connection, and most importantly, they're using some sort of headphones and not using their computer mic or Blue Yeti.
Yeah, we need to get people away from the Blue Yeti because it's just picking up a lot.
Say no to Blue Yeti. Say no to that. Please.
Perfect. Kevin Valley, thank you very much. If you guys have not heard of Kevin Valley or his podcast, Kevin, where can we find you? Where can we find the podcast?
Yeah, you could find me at CaribbeanPowerLunch.com. Check it out. We are actually coming back from a very long hiatus. Probably a year long hiatus. We're coming back from a long hiatus next month. So look out for some new episodes. We've been recording some stuff, and it's anytime.
Perfect. Kevin Valley, thank you for calling in and testing out this feature with me. I'm going to let you get back into the audience. I'm going to see if anybody else wants to jump into a phone call with any questions.
All right, DJ Rose. Later.
All right, we'll pick up.
All right.
Folks, that was Kevin Valley from Caribbean Power Lunch and Become Investable. So the phone lines are open. If you want to call in and ask your question about live streaming equipment or podcasting equipment, anything within that space. Or again, if you just want to call in and say hello, the number is 737-4358. 737-4358. You guys can call in either via WhatsApp or you can call directly with the on your phone number. All right, so we got a call coming in. Let's see who this is. Hello, good night. You were live on Digipreneur FM.
Hi, Mr. Rose.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm cool, man, watching you do your thing.
Perfect. Who are we speaking with?
I am Dylan. I am from Differ Stream. I have a company called Differ Stream.
Okay.
I live stream funerals, weddings, events. These days, a lot of funerals.
Perfect. So look at that. You're the best person to jump on this call with me.
I had some questions too.
Talk to me.
I'm sampling a few different live streaming solutions at the moment. I've done OBS. OBS have a steep learning curve.
Right.
I kind of get over that, but OBS requires a lot of bandwidth. So if you don't have good bandwidth, your stream don't really reach good.
Right.
Is there a streaming solution, whether hardware or software, that you could use even though your bandwidth in some areas are not good, or is that the one you have? You need to have good bandwidth.
Yeah, so the rule of thumb is, especially when you're using platforms that are multicasting and streaming on multiple platforms, the rule of thumb is that you always want to have at least 15 megabits per second per channel that you're streaming out to. If you're streaming out to 4 channels, you want to have at least 15 by 4 for those channels, right? Now, OBS is hardcore, and as you've already found out, there is a steep learning curve with OBS. What I would definitely recommend, what doesn't, is not as bandwidth hungry, because OBS is for professionals, like the best of the best use OBS to produce their shows. Check out StreamYard. Also check out Restream. But StreamYard right now is doing some incredible things, and it's pretty much plug and play. Their bandwidth speeds are really good. So if you don't have the fastest speeds, they definitely help you out. And it's web-based as well. So that helps out tremendously.
Okay.
Right? Do you have a Mac or do you have a PC?
I have one of those gaming laptops.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's very good, like R7 processor. So
right.
The PC is not really a problem. I have good processing power.
No, the reason I asked is because there's software specifically to Mac and there's software for PC.
Oh,
so
okay, PC.
Like for me, I'm on Mac, so I use Ecamm Live, right?
Oh,
and Ecamm Live is heavy, is processor heavy. So you have to have a beefed up system if you're running Ecamm Live, because it's like the professional version for OBS, but for Mac, right? But check out StreamYard, check out Restream. Those would be 2 good options for you, and I think you might end up going with Restream. They're both web based, and they're not as power hungry or as bandwidth hungry as OBS.
And the advantage that you have is that you are stationary. I'm a mobile streamer with a gravesite, funeral home, chapel,
Right.
wedding site, in a barn, wherever it is. So
Right.
we depend on mobile network
Right.
to
Correct.
do our streaming. So I need a solution that's not bandwidth hungry.
Yes. If you're out in the jungle, if you're out in deep south and the
Correct.
internet's not as good, yeah,
Correct.
yeah. Check out Restream, check out StreamYard. The learning curve it's like beginners. Like you could just get started immediately. Once you
Nice.
set it up, get your templates in order, get your look and feel in order. It's extremely easy to use. It's one of those platforms that anybody that's getting into the game of live streaming right now are running to stream that because of how easy to use it is.
Nice. I really, really, really enjoy your work and the good things that you're doing. Keep it up. I
Thank
follow
you.
you on all platforms and fully support you, man.
Thank you very much, Dylan. All right,
Thanks.
bro, we'll
Take care,
pick up.
Keron.
All
Yeah.
right, take care. Yo. I'm abusing that. I'm abusing that one a little too much, right? I'm abusing that little one a little too much. Listen, this is really good. It really does have a radio feel during your live streams. And then again, you could do all of this while you're podcasting as well to again add some new dynamics to your content. So I'm extremely excited about this. If you guys have any questions, you guys can definitely throw it up in the chat. Don't be afraid. You could throw your questions up in the chat. Tonight we're talking live streaming and podcasting. So if you have any questions about, how to get started with live streaming or podcasting, you could put your questions in the chat or call in. Call into Digipreneur FM. The number is 737-4358. You can call directly on the phone or you can WhatsApp call me. We'll bring you right in and have a chat. So you could throw your question into the chat or call 737-4358. And while we wait for, either a question to come in or a call, listen, live streaming really, if you are building your brand and you have your business, this is something that can elevate your brand. It's something that I definitely encourage you to do. There's so many things that you could do in terms of repurposing. Now, the algorithms love live video. So that's bonus number one. Algorithms love live video. It's the number one type of content that gets the most reach from the algorithms on the various platforms. It's also video, so it's recorded. So you could do what you want with the video after. So you could chop it down to clips and distribute it across social media. You could also rip the audio from it, or if you're using a software, I have either Ecamm Live doing it for me or the Rodecaster. When we're recording, it splits the audio. So if I'm bringing guests in, it's going to split those audios for me, and then I could individually edit the audio as I see fit. And again, you're going to be able to do what you want. So there's a variety of ways that you could take a live video and chop it up into different types of content, right? So again, questions, drop it in the chat. If you guys want to call, I want to take one more call. Somebody, jump in. We're testing this bad boy out. I don't think I've had the feel for how the calls work. So 737-4358. Somebody jump into the call. I see my guy Jason Marcano. Jason Marcano, jump into the call. Ask that question over the phone. Jump into the call if you can. 737-4358. Yes, is this the new format for Into the Digital Age? Yeah, it's not, but Digital Age will have some announcements very soon. But I was testing all of this out because the podcast, all right, Jason said he's going to come in. Jason, the number is 737-4358. And you could call either WhatsApp or you can call directly. 737-4358. Yeah, thank you, Kevin. All right, Kevin put it in there for me. Yeah, Jason, give us a call, Jason. Give us a call. I ain't chat to you in a minute. Give us a call. We could answer that question live. This is definitely going to be a lot of fun, especially when we have guests that are live and we're recording the podcast. So we will be recording the podcast. All right, so we got a call coming in. Good night. You're live on Digipreneur FM.
Good night, Mr. Rose. How are you, sir?
Yo, we're cool, man. Jason, what's going on, bro?
I good. That's what's in here. Looking good up there.
All right. I see you come out tonight.
Yeah. Well, I see on live. I was just scrolling through my YouTube. I see Keron Rose is live, so I definitely don't miss that. So yeah, interested. Let me know somewhere. Is this the direction for into the digital age? What's the plans?
So digital age is gonna have news coming very soon. Like I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks, the news will get dropped for what that looks like. It won't be this. It's gonna be something else. But that will have that news will be coming. But what this is though is the Digipreneur FM podcast. I got new equipment that I wanted to kind of test out because the equipment lends itself both to live streaming and also podcasting. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll still be recording a lot of my podcasts offline and then upload them. But what I want to do is I want to have some fun when it comes to the guest interviews. So with the guest interviews, I'll be able to do a live taping of the show. So we'll be able to see the guests live, just like how we're talking right now live, and you see the videos. But then if we want to have phone calls and people call in to ask the guests direct questions, they're now going to be able to call in and ask the questions live, and the guest is going to be able to respond, and everything is going to be live. And we'll have the video, then we'll have the audio recorded separately and uploaded to the podcast platform.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. I definitely need to see the equipment breakdown again because this looks really good. The quality is on top, and I just looking forward to probably trying out some of these things for myself too.
Yeah, and I mean you have a good bit of the equipment already. You're shooting videos, you have your camera set up, so you're more than I'm looking around. I think you're like 90% of the way there. I think the only thing you might be missing is, what are you using? Are you using a Canon or a Sony?
Canon.
Okay. So with your Canon, have you tried using it as a webcam as yet?
It does not have the input, or at least not to my knowledge. So what I've been doing is renting cameras, a Sony, to do my live streams. So thinking of switching.
Oh, you're thinking of switching?
Yeah.
Your Canon doesn't have the micro. It doesn't have the micro HDMI.
Nah, it doesn't. That's
Okay.
the Canon. Mine's the Canon 60. A little bit before, but it's still good for video recording video.
It has USB on board, right?
What?
It has the USB output on board, right?
Yeah.
Because did you check to see if your camera is eligible for the Canon software, the Canon webcam software?
No, I didn't check actually.
Check that because what Canon is doing is you could use your USB and with their new software, you use your USB input, and that is what connects as a webcam with Canon.
Okay.
So just Google Canon webcam utility and see if your Canon is on the list, and then you'll be able to use their software bridge and then plug your camera in via USB, and that would be your webcam.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to Google that right now.
Yeah, and then the only thing you need for audio at that point is if you want to connect your actual mic into your computer, get yourself an audio interface. You don't even have to get nothing too expensive. This one is like $45. Get yourself an audio interface so you can connect your XLR input into your computer, or if you have a USB if you have a USB mic, use that, and you're good to go.
Yeah. I have the interface already, actually. So,
look
yeah.
at that. Oh,
so, I close.
Yeah. Let me know if your Canon is eligible, because that would be some good news.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out actually.
Perfect, bro. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, man, no problem. Keep it up, bro. We watching. We appreciate the work you're putting in for the Caribbean, bro.
Thanks again, bro. Thanks a lot. Means a lot. All right, cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, later.
Listen. Yo, listen. Digipreneur FM is gonna be turned up. It's gonna be turned up. So you know what, folks? This was great. I got to test out everything that I wanted to test out. Sound quality is really good. I think everybody said quality is really good. The phone calls coming in sound very crispy and clean. Listen, if you enjoyed this little impromptu live, drop some flames in the chats for me. Let me know that you guys are here. Let me know if you guys are excited for what's to come, because again, we're going to have a lot of fun doing this. Drop some flames in the chat for me. Let me know that you guys are here. Let me know that you guys have enjoyed this impromptu live about live streaming and podcasting. And we got to get a couple of guests come in to talk. And what I liked is that everybody's kind of doing their own thing with different levels of expertise, and they came and dropped some knowledge for you guys as well. So that was fun, man. All right. So without further ado, all right, I think that's about it for me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna queue up the outro for Digipreneur FM, and we'll ride out to the outro. All right, cool. Drop some flames if you guys enjoyed tonight's impromptu live. I like to see them flames. I like my fire. Let's rock out to the outro.
You've been listening to the Digiboss, Keron Rose. We hope your notepad was filled after this episode. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. The learning doesn't stop, folks. And to make sure you don't miss any gems from the Digiboss, go over and follow him on all social media platforms at Keron Rose. Folks, don't just sit there with a notepad. We need you to implement at least one thing into your business before the next episode. That's the only way your business levels up. Thanks for listening to Digipreneur FM. Now go be great.
Go be great, folks. We